So no, Sycamore Gap's on its side. Alright, jump in the van, we're going to nip up. So I was only 25 minutes away. So I nipped up, this was about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I pulled at the side of the road and honestly, like, couldn't believe it. So the director of that movie's actually got one of my bits of art in his house.
I can't even talk about it because I can't comprehend it. I just can't believe I'm gonna...
A famous 300-year-old tree was illegally cut down.
Cutting down of one of the UK's most photographed trees.
Northumberland National Park Authority believe that the tree has been deliberately felled.
Oh my God, it's down.
Real.
We were like, nah, it's fake. Yeah, so we got a message in the group. One of the guys in the group, Ken, he said, have you seen this, lads? So me and Lou and all the guys in the group were like, well, what is it like? It looks like a Photoshop. It's like, no, Sycamore Gap's on its side. We were like,
gosh, that's
nah.
how it got revealed to you?
Yeah.
Oh.
We were like, nah, it's fake. It's like, there's so many fake. I said, I tell you what.
You wouldn't believe it.
I was working in Newcastle. I says, so Will, who I was working with at the time, I says, Howard, jump in the van, we're going to nip up. So I was only 25 minutes away. So I nipped up, this was at about 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I pulled at the side of the road and honestly, like, couldn't believe it. I got my big 600mm lens out and I zoomed in. Yeah. You could see it in the landscape anyway, and I was like, well, it might be an optical illusion. So I got my camera out and I was like, oh my God, it's down.
Real.
And I could see the base of the stump had been cut. It wasn't like a natural occurrence because it was windy that night.
Yeah, so I saw people were saying it might have like
been a storm.
Yeah. You knew it.
So when I got there was only two other guys there. There was a lady literally on her knees, crying her eyes out.
Because people would have like proposed to people there. And
yeah.
Like, there's so many stories behind that. It's just.
She'd spend every birthday, Christmas, special occasions with her family. They used to go and have picnics under the tree.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Met another guy there. His loved one was scattered there. And then there was the second lady, actually, she was coming down the hill and she travelled all the way from Canada. And she hurt her leg the day before and she was supposed to do that leg of the tour past the tree. She missed it by a day. So I don't think people realise how important this place was to people.
Oh yeah, honestly, so many people have like a connection to it in their own ways. And
it's sacred. I think that was the perfect word that I used when I did a few interviews with the BBC about it and I was like, it's sacred. It's not just a tree. It's a graveyard. You know?
Honestly, it's just, I mean, how long has it actually been there and the tree, do you know?
Yeah, so the tree, they aged it via the rings on the bark.
Yeah, I've heard that technique.
I think it was 297 years old. That's how much, I'm sure it was 297. I might be wrong, but it was around the 300-year-old. But yeah, it was 297, I think it was.
Obviously, with like it being there that long, a lot of things have happened with people and like how
it's seen generations.
The amount of connections that would have built for someone just to like cut it down like that for it just to be over. But
it's seen generations. So like it's seen people grow up. It's seen kids from Northumberland climb it. You know, it's been in movies.
Yeah. It has, the Robin
Hood
one.
Yeah. So that actually, there's a story behind that one as well.
Yeah.
So the director of that movie's actually got one of my bits of art in his house.
No.
Yeah, he does.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Hey, that's a flex. That's really cool.
Yeah. So when we were dealing with the BBC, the BBC thought it would be a nice idea to obviously offer him some art, and he was like, yeah. Definitely.
And one of them was.
Yeah. So.
Oh, you've done really well with the photography, if I'm honest.
Do you know what it is? It's just been a natural progression as well. I haven't pushed it. I was always all right with social media. I'm not amazing with social media, but I was always all right because I have my electrical business that I run. I took that at like kind of the next level on social media, and it was before social media was kind of big. So I got like quite a few thousand followers with my electrical business, which is a bit weird considering it was a business page.
Yeah.
But in the end it just grew, and it was all about just creating content that people want to watch.
Social media is powerful now. Like,
it is.
Every business has got to be on it now. It's unbelievable the impact. It is. To be honest.
I've backed off it a lot though. Like I don't know if you've noticed, my posts have kind of slowed down a bit. I'm kind of taking a bit more of a step back and getting back into why I did it in the first place, which is the photography.
Yeah.
Because I found what I was doing a lot. I was getting lost in social media and like worrying about the algorithm.
Yeah.
And I still do, but I've pulled back and I'm not posting as much.
Exactly what you mean, that algorithm, honestly, I don't think I'll ever understand it. And it's always changing, isn't it?
Always. Keep you on your toes.
You can't keep on top of it.
It's to make you spend money, mate.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
But yeah, no, honestly, like that picture you've took, I can get it now on the screen. The Sycamore Gap one is just, You said there were two others though, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
So you want to talk about them?
Yes, it's probably the best and worst picture I've ever taken.
Best worst, okay.
It's horrendous.
That sounds
like,
interesting.
If I look, it was a test shot.
Right.
So it was actually, so when I was setting up my camera, it was during, basically I took an image of Roca Pier.
Right.
And I was setting up my camera and my exposure, so it was slightly overexposed, so it was a bit washed out, the sky and everything. But it captured a wave and there was a face in it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And I mean, when I say a face, there was a face in it, you know? And it was like, you faked it. I was like, I'm telling you, I haven't. This is a face. I showed my wife, I was like, have you seen this? She was like, that's a face.
Yeah, honestly, I remember that one. It's really creepy how it actually is a face.
It is.
Genuinely a face. Like,
yeah. So I got accused of photoshopping it.
Yeah.
So I had to send it.
Of course, people would say that. It's quite unbelievable, like seeing a face in a wave.
I had to send it to a publisher, and the publisher had to do some tests on the raw photo.
Really?
Yeah, they had to because it went mental. It went worldwide.
Oh, it did. Yeah. No, I remember you posting all the like different.
Yeah. So I was on BBC Brazil. I was getting interviewed in like, I think it was I'm not sure what part of India. I'm sure it was like Pakistan or something. Like I was getting interviewed in like worldwide. So it was mental. It was. I was like, great. What? So yeah, so I was getting and it was
a test shot.
Yeah. It was a test shot.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, and
that is amazing.
So like, if you look at the image, you'll put it on the screen, but it's a horrendous shot. Like overexposed, washed out. It's horrendous.
Yeah.
But it captured something amazing, you know. But it was a couple of days after the Queen had died, so the BBC ran with the story, reincarnation of the Queen. Yeah.
That is incredible, yeah.
So,
I remember that picture. It's good how there's a story behind it, but I can't believe that was a test shot.
Yeah, it was a test shot. Yeah, it was.
It's gone global.
It went mental. It went absolutely mental. Yeah, so it was probably one of my most popular shots. So
did you realise straight away that you captured a face
in
it?
Or it wasn't until I got home.
Like, look back, really, yeah.
Yeah, because it was a test shot. So I was just setting up my camera. And I was just like firing away, and I was like, right, okay, change it, and then eventually I got the shot I wanted, which was a nice shot. But I ended up using the one with the face instead.
You ended up using the test shot.
So you can see on my actual Instagram. So the picture for my face in the wave, the first image on the first one that I took wasn't even the face in the wave. That was just the test shot because I didn't think it would do anything, and it just went global. So that, I think one of the social media pages is one of the biggest pages on Instagram called Puberty.
Oh yeah? Did it get on Puberty?
It got like it got something like, I think it was something like 20 million hits.
What? Hey.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got millions of people.
So they actually follow us. So me and Puberty follow each other, and then we started messaging each other, and they were like, "Oh, can we use your image?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely."
Yeah, definitely. That is like
so
massive.
My image was getting so I had to change my website for my publishing.
Yes.
I had to change my website to international shipping, because there was people from like America and China and Japan.
Oh God.
I've changed it back now to Europe only because it was getting a nightmare.
Oh, that would be mental.
It was just like every day I was going out, it was like 10, 15 images prints, and it was crazy.
Yeah. I mean, how do you react to it even going global? Did you expect it to go global?
God no, I thought it was crap. I looked at the image, I was like, this is terrible. I'm gonna post it for a joke.
It's just gone global.
It went mental.
I mean, that is a great story in itself. That, I mean, oh my God. I mean,
so that's been my most popular, possibly the most popular image that I've taken to date.
Is it?
Even though it's probably my worst image to date. It's probably the.
I mean, that is great. That is a great story. I wouldn't have known that. That is a great story. That is just a test shot. I thought it was like genuinely like a good picture taken. I didn't really look into it that much, but I just saw the face in the wave, and I was like, whoa, how have you done that?
Yeah, well.
And it ended up being a test shot.
Absolute fluke.
Amazing.
Yeah. Total fluke. Yeah.
Amazing.
So it wasn't skill, guys. It was fluke.
Great.
So I've that was the second one.
And then there's one more.
There is indeed. Yeah. One more. So the third one is another storm shot, and this was Storm Babbitt. Right. So everybody were in Tynemouth. And everybody was like lined up, the wind was battering because it was an onshore wind. So like we're kind of leaning against the wind. We had like rain covers over our cameras, and I thought I need to get somewhere more protected. So I jumped in my van, and as I was looking, I thought the light's changing, and the light just opened up behind the lighthouse. The light had opened up to the right of the lighthouse, so I thought I need to go left. I need to get down somewhere. To get to the left of the light, so it's sitting behind the lighthouse, and it was the day that South Shields got the top of the lighthouse knocked off.
Yes, I remember.
It was that day, so it was that morning.
That was talked about quite a lot. Yeah, I was shocked at that.
Crazy.
Because that's been there a while, like after all these storms and everything.
I think it was
like,
18 in the 1800s. I think it's been there since.
I mean, how? I mean,
So,
just for this storm to take it down.
Yeah, 2 centuries it's been there, you know.
Unbelievable! It's just come down recently.
Yeah, I laced it, jumped in my van, laced it down the hill, and I went down to the Tynemouth boating, like the boating yard.
Yes.
Like in between the piers.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes,
right at the base of the North Pier. And I was getting hammered. So instead of using my tripod because it would have got blown over,
oh yeah, it'd be flying away.
I decided to handhold it. So I took what I was doing in the storm, because the wind was hitting us. Like my camera was facing like that. The wind was literally hitting inside my lens. So I had like a microfiber cloth. So I was wiping the cloth and then hanging the cloth over, and then I had it sat on top of like a tree stump, that had been like blown it off the sea.
Yeah.
And then whenever there was a wave hit, I would blow the cloth and then take me pictures. And then this freak wave hit. I've never seen a wave as big in my life. This freak wave hit the South Pier, boom, and then the sun burst. So like we had like literally just a narrow peak of orange colour through grey cloud, and then this blue, grey, horrible wave just smashed into the pier. And it just like the picture was just, it just said 1,000 words. Like it said everything about that day. And that one won a few awards actually.
Did it? As
well? It did.
You had a few good pictures.
Yeah, it was. So that one got into the national newspapers, like all of them. And I can't remember which one it was. I think it might have been the Guardian. I've got the picture in here. I won a competition, basically photo of, I think it was either photo of the month or photo of the year. And that actually, they published it on a double-page spread. Like a full, on the centre page.
I remember you did a video of that, didn't you?
Like the full page, like double page spread, which was just like...
You must get sick of the people asking for if they can use your pictures all the time.
Oh, it's lush. I love it. That's the one thing I love about it, because it's just a really big, like me being an amateur, it's a massive compliment.
Oh, it would
like
be,
huge compliment, because I'm going up against guys. I mean, as you know, Leo, like around the northeast, we've probably got some of the best photographers in the country.
There's a
like
few good ones,
I mean, you were talking about Jim Scott the other day. Yeah, like some of that compositions are just like,
it just seems unbeatable. Like it's just unbelievable.
Have you heard of a guy called Stu Patterson? So he's the guy who I'll tell you, because he's the guy who's inspired us to like do more landscape stuff.
Okay.
He does more like dark sunrises and dark sunsets, and he does like wispy waters and things. But
I like that sort of photography.
His compositions are just like breathtaking. Like, you know what I mean, breathtaking. If you get a chance, like check his work out. He's unbelievable.
I'm sure I might have seen some of his stuff. It's just
he's quite a quiet guy. Doesn't have a big following.
Does he not?
Quite a quiet guy, and it's kind of like, it says a lot for social media, because if someone like him's not really getting noticed, that's what tells you there's something wrong with social media, because he's world class. He's world class. Like I'd say he's probably up there with my favourite landscape photographers.
Really?
Yeah, absolutely. Up there, I like Jim as well. I think Jim's kind of like the same kind of level. Like the compositions.
Some of the shots he gets with Bamber Castle are just unbelievable, aren't they?
Yeah, unbelievable.
I mean, you look at them, it just blows you away. Yes, that's another controversial topic. I love these. So, in the competition you were in recently, there was a bit of controversy about AI. And I'm sure some people, I mean, to be honest, I see more people disagreeing with AI and like after you edit your pictures or whatever.
Oh, 100%.
What's your opinion on AI and photography and everything?
Can I be honest? Like, I think AI's got its place.
Yeah.
I really do. I think it's got its place. I would put AI and digital art in the same kind of category. Okay. If you want to create an image, fair play. It's art.
Yeah, it's its own like...
Yeah, it's its own entity. You know, it's art. It's something that somebody will admire. And it's always something that somebody will love. For me, in a photography world, it doesn't belong in a photography.
And
I love creating it.
Aren't they?
Well, they have.
It's already
they've already done it. So the two of the major photography competitions this year have both been digital art, and it's not photography.
That shouldn't be allowed. I don't think they shouldn't be able.
Totally agree.
That should be their own separate thing, and let this like. But then people start complaining about like when you start manipulating your pictures and everything.
That's it. That's it. So I'll put my hands up and say I love editing images.
Yeah.
I love.
Honestly, that's part of the process.
100%. It's creating art, because sometimes you can walk into a shot. So if you get your camera, you get set up. You walk into a shot, you know exactly what you want. You know what you want the shot to look like. So sometimes when you take a shot, you have to manipulate it to make it look the way you want it to look. Which I think is part of the process.
I agree, I completely agree. It's part of the whole like photography thing.
But if you're adding things, it should be stated that you're adding things.
That's fair enough. That's a good point. There's a difference between that, and quite a big difference when you're adding all this stuff and generating all this.
So the only place where I don't feel it's necessary to add stuff is astrophotography.
Right.
Because it's blatantly obvious when you stack an image to another photographer.
Oh, astrophotography in itself is like a whole new thing.
Oh my God.
You've got photography and then just, I mean, it's impossible to me.
I'm literally just dipping my toe in the water.
But it's amazing space.
Oh.
That could be a whole, I could talk for hours about that.
Have you seen one of the guys who follows me called Michael Orton?
I do recognise that name.
So he's one of the deep sky photographers alongside Dan Monk up at Kielder.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I was there in January, Kielder, yeah.
Have you seen his deep space?
I think I might.
Oh my God, yeah, like seriously.
I do recognise that name.
Yeah, if you haven't seen, like, you want to see his work, it's just like, my God.
It blows my mind.
So I've just bought myself a cheap, crappy little telescope. Right?
Yeah, that's what I've got, a telescope. It's a Celestron 8 or something.
All right, so is it a tracked one?
Yeah, but I've never been able, I've had it for like 2 years now, I've never been able to figure it out.
So I'm just getting the C Star.
Right, yes.
The S50.
Yes.
Oh my God, mind blown. Like literally you've got to calibrate it, you focus it, set it away and it just does what it wants.
Oh, it's
amazing. So now I'm getting images with that which I could only have dreamed of, because I don't have the kit to do what these deep space what the deep space photographers do. Yeah, so it's been a real eye-opening
getting pictures of like the Andromeda galaxy and everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like Jupiter is just,
it's phenomenal. The fact that you can view, witness and capture something that's like we could never reach in a lifetime.
It's unbelievable.
It's bonkers, isn't it?
I love space as well. It's so interesting. I could talk about that for hours.
Yeah, absolutely. I think
the fact that we can take pictures, like you say, is just unreal as well. Like
take pictures of another galaxy. It's like a nebula. It's like
I don't get it, man.
It blows my head.
I can't even talk about it because I can't comprehend it. It's just unbelievable. But yeah, astrophotography is one of the best things out there. I love looking at that. It's really interesting. Right, so moving on back to photography. What are your top 3 or top 5 best locations, would you say, for photography? Like, where's your favourite place to take a picture?
Well, number 1 had to be Sycamore Gap.
Has to be.
It was just everything about the place. If you wanted to get away from the world, if you wanted a bit of peace, get away from like just people. If you just wanted to be on your own and just get away from life.
I've only ever been there twice, and it's such a shame because I wanted to keep going. I was only just getting into it.
It's a hard place to go in the dark, though.
That's true. Yeah, the first time I went was in the dark.
You look right. You think, where am I going? Am I going in the right direction?
Someone told me there's like a private path to get there.
There is.
Where there's like told me to go through there.
That's it. Yeah.
Is that the way you go?
That is the easiest route.
Yeah, because I ended up going another way. I was walking up hills and then walking down, and then it took forever to get there. That was the second time I went that way.
That's the easiest walk. If you don't want to get lost, that's the easiest walk, because you just follow the Hadrian's Wall and it takes you straight to the tree. Well, where the tree was. But the easiest walk, there's 2 easy walks. There's one which goes alongside the hills, which is a little bit of a climb.
Right.
But if it's icy, it's lethal because...
because I went in January the first time. It was
so lethal.
icy.
Well, I fell.
Yeah, the mate I went with fell as well.
I went straight down the hill. But I was on my own, and it was like, it was -10. I was on my own. It had just been snowing, so you couldn't see the track. So when I walked, I missed the steps, and I went all the way down. But I thought, Christ,
that is dangerous.
But nobody was with us.
And you were on your own. It's in the middle of nowhere, really, as well.
And I was there and I thought myself, because I was shooting for about 2.5, 3 hours. Because did you see the image I took with the star trail?
Yes.
Yeah. So I did
that one,
I did a star trail image, and it took us about. That was that night.
Right.
So I fell down the hill on that night.
Was that getting there? Or?
Yeah, getting there. So I thought, you know what it is? If I'd injured myself, I was there for 3 hours, not a single person came.
Oh no, honestly,
I was thinking,
terrified. Luckily, I was with like another person, so I was felt a bit better. Going on your own there would be dangerous.
I used to do it all the time.
It must have been very quiet as well with the snow, because doesn't that sort of like absorb?
It was dense.
It must be like
dense. Yeah. So it was
beautiful,
just eerily quiet. So I sat. So basically, I took myself a flask. I had a cool drink which froze. It was a block of ice, and then I had my flask, and I had this little stool thing which I used to just sit on, and I was just watching the stars rotate around the tree, and it was just amazing.
That in itself is just good for the mental health. It's good for the soul.
I used to come home happy, and I haven't found another place. There's a couple of places which are close, but I've never found another place that used to give us the same feeling when I used to arrive to Sycamore Gap. I had that excitement of doing the walk, And then when I was leaving, I had that excitement of like, whoa, what have I got?
Yeah, it's a beautiful place.
You know, it was the symmetry. It was the symmetry. It just the way that the tree was hugged by the hills. It was just
perfect.
Yeah,
it was just perfect. Where are the other places? Would you say? Because you said there's a couple other places.
Yeah, there is.
Would you want to reveal them, or do you want to keep it like?
No, it's open. No, absolutely. So my other one is definitely the North Tynemouth Pier.
Yeah, because that's a nice little place.
It means a lot to us because at lockdown I spent a lot of time there. Right. So you know the railings at the base of the pier.
Yes.
I used to sit with my feet through the railings. So the railing was in between my legs, and I used to sit with my legs either side and just rest my chin on the railings and just watch the waves hit.
Wow.
And then watch the sunrise,
it's
sunset.
Stuff like that makes you attached to it, and like.
Yeah. So that'll always be like an important place to us. And it's also where I lost my camera there as well.
You lost it?
Oh yeah. We'll not talk about that.
No. God, no.
So that wasn't a very good one.
No.
That wasn't a very good trip, but it was memorable though.
Yeah, these things happen, I guess.
Indeed. Luckily, I had insurance.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. Another one, Howick Bathing House. Have you been there?
I think I've seen your pictures, Northern Lights and stuff you took there.
No, that is peaceful.
I haven't actually been there.
It's the shortest walk in the world.
Is it?
If you haven't been, do it.
It looks really nice though.
It's stunning. So there's a coastal walk you can do from Crasta right the way past. Actually, you can do the whole walk. You can go all the way up to Scotland if you wanted to. Jeez. But yeah, so if you wanted to park at the bathing house, there's like a little farm, and if you park just to the left of there, there's like a walk, which is a bridle path. So you're allowed to walk on it. You walk along the main road. This gravel road.
Right.
Get to the end, which is where the bathing house is, and then you can just walk all the way along the coast. And you can do it at night because you just keep the sea on your right hand side, you know you're walking in the right direction. And it is quite a lush walk because you can go from the bathing house all the way up the coast to Crasta, and then you go from Crasta, you can go to Dunstanburgh, and it's just lush. Yeah. It's really nice.
Is it like a quiet place? And is there much light pollution around there?
No, none.
Because that's what I like, going somewhere where it's like dark and peaceful. That's what really...
Eerily quiet. So the only thing
I love places like that. It creeps me out sometimes though. If I was ever to go on my own, it would genuinely creep me out. Because you just don't know what's going on. I mean, out there, no one's really gonna...
Do you know what it is? There's only one spot that freaks us out, and it's every time I go, I get these chills up my back.
I love ghost story. Have you ever had a ghost story or whatever?
Loads. Loads.
God.
Some of the places I go, like you get a feeling.
Right. What were you gonna say?
Yeah. So, do you know? You ever heard of Edlingham Castle?
The
ruin.
I've been there like a few times now. Yeah.
So the church. The story is the
I was
church.
There, like last week or something. Yeah, I love it there.
Apparently, it's the most haunted church in Britain.
Is it?
Yeah.
I'm not going back now.
So I went, and I'm not kidding, I'm not making up a story. Every time I go, I get chills. I don't know why, I don't know what it is. I always get the EBGBs when I go there. And I'll be standing there, and there's a tawny owl around there. So you hear the woo woo.
Yeah,
and and
it's like some weird noises.
My God.
Last week I went.
And there's cows in the field as well.
Yeah.
You hear.
That's what I heard as well.
And I get like these shivers up my back, and I don't get it anywhere else. I've been in abandoned castles, in abandoned houses.
Right.
Like bothies, doesn't matter where I go, I'm fine.
Typical.
That's the one place I still go. It doesn't bother us. I still go, but it freaks us out. Like it's the only place I get the EBGBs.
To be honest, it's quite fun to get scared about.
100%. Yeah.
I do see what you mean, but no.
I've always got my torch in hand. I'm like,
always check your back.
Shining my torch into midair. I'm just expecting like some red eyes to be looking at us.
I couldn't go back there on my own now.
Yeah.
I can't believe that's one of the most haunted. I've never actually heard
I'm sure it's the church. I'm sure the church.
That church is older than the castle.
It is,
isn't
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what the story behind it is, but I got told that it's one of the most haunted places.
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
because apparently there's Chillingham Castle. That's the most haunted, but you can stay there, so it's not dark skies. So it does really
massively publicised.
It's not something I'm interested in. No. I mean, it's a nice castle.
It is, yeah, but no.
It's not something I'd want to go and photo.
I wouldn't say that would be as scary as somewhere that no one really knows about, like a local place like Edlingham Castle.
Yeah. Absolutely, I love finding little abandoned places though.
I love it, yeah. I think it's really exciting.
Yeah.
I do love that, yeah.
It's lush.
There's another place I've been. I mean, it's not a castle or anything. It's the largest freestanding boulder in Northumberland, in Harbottle. It's called the Drake Stone. Have you been there?
Oh yes, I haven't been there.
Be haunted.
So one of the guys who I do photography with, he does hiking up there.
Yeah.
And he's going to take us up there.
No, genuinely. I went there once for a meteor storm with a few of my friends, and I couldn't do that alone. No way. It's really terrifying. It's a bit of a walk.
Because it's quite a hike, isn't it?
Yeah, you got to go uphill.
But there's a track. I'm sure there's a track.
There is a bit of a track. Yeah,
but if it's snowing, you're screwed.
Yeah. But no, the view is worth it from up there. But yeah, we went for a meteor shower, and there's a lake like a lake that's been there since like the Ice Age or something. I said,
wow.
They said I'm pretty sure it's that old, like it's naturally formed. But apparently there's a story behind it. There's people who've tried to drain it before. I don't know why you'd want to drain it because it's no harm.
Probably dead bodies down below it.
I know, that's the thing, yeah. But yeah, they tried to drain it, and apparently, I mean, it's sort of a spiritual thing. They heard like a massive voice boom coming from that stone, because they also said it's supposed to have healing properties. So
wow.
they used to like carry people over it or something. Honestly, this is something I've read on a few websites. I'm not going crazy. Like, I'm not going crazy. No. I love stuff like that, and I don't feel as many people do like stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's a very niche thing. But
my wife's I've always been a bit of a skeptic, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
So like,
I love it.
but my wife's into like healing and stuff. She does a bit of Reiki and a bit of a white witch. You know, she does like healing stuff, and she did it on me back. I tell you what it is, it was amazing.
Serious?
Oh yeah, it was amazing. Yeah,
serious?
Like, so I do believe in like this kind of stuff now. Like I'm not as skeptical anymore.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we heard voices when I was there coming from like, we were next to the boulder and the lake's like behind it.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I saw a torch there, and I'm thinking, and we heard like noises. I'm thinking, who else is gonna be there on a random night? There was a meteor shower and it was pretty clear, but I mean, come on, who's gonna be there that's not dodgy?
Oh, absolutely.
Especially on that side, because I wouldn't see why you'd go all the way over there. But then it's the same thing like Edlingham Castle. You know, who's gonna know?
That's it.
If you're on your own, who's gonna know?
Who's gonna come with a big scythe and a black hood and take it out?
Oh. Terrifying, man. I love it when you get that sort of like adrenaline rushing through you. It's like, it's great.
I actually did get a ghost experience, you know.
Did you?
I did. Yeah.
I've never actually had a proper.
But I was only about 19. This is one of my pals, a kid called Winter. We were driving back from ice hockey, so coming back from the ice rink, and we're in his car, and we were going over the Humpback Bridge at Monk's Eaton.
Yeah.
And this figure appeared in front of the car. Now, I'm not even kidding. Slammed the anchors on. No. We were like, and I looked at him. I was like, "Did you see that?" And he was like, "I seen that." And I was like,
"No."
We couldn't follow him out. I was like, "Was it a bag or something?" And he was like, "No, that was a person." I was like, "Where did it go?" It just disappeared. And I was like, "Yeah." I was that freaked the living hell out of us.
Do you believe in ghosts?
I do. I do. I definitely think. Do you know what it is? I think it's the same as religion. So I think life's too complicated for this just to be it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I like deep conversations.
Oh, 100%. We do this all the time, you know. If we're having a few beers or whatever, we'll go off on a tangent and just start randomly talking about life.
Yeah, honestly, I love doing that on it.
Yeah.
It's just great. I love deep conversations. Anything about space, why we're here, you know aliens,
what's he called, man? That Brian Cox, Professor Brian Cox.
I love him, man.
Amazing.
He's
the most interesting man in the world.
Honestly, the things he has to say is just incredible.
When he was talking about, you know, the smallest particle they found, the Higgs boson.
Right.
So when they were talking about the Higgs boson, I was thinking, crikey, how much smaller can they find? You know, like about what created it? Because they reckon all life formed. All life formed. At the time, all life had formed from the Higgs boson particle, and I thought, wait there. Life's pretty complicated. This can't be it.
I know.
It can't be.
I don't understand it. It really. I can't, like, I'm doing this again, I can't talk because it just I can't comprehend
it. The thing is that nobody can fully understand it.
It makes me, like, disorientated. It's unbelievable, but it's so interesting.
100%.
I guess we could just talk about it forever until I find out, but I guess we just never will.
I think my number one location now that you're talking about before is St. Mary's.
Is it?
Yeah, it's just clicked there. I think St. Mary's, because that
I do love it there.
That's my go-to.
Yeah.
If I'm ever bored, if I'm ever going to do anything, the wildlife, the sea.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest with you, the lighthouse is looking a bit shabby.
I know.
Yeah,
I think. They're going to paint it again.
I don't know. I mean, to be honest with you,
talks of it, hasn't there?
It's annoying because when you go to the south of the water and you see like Roker Pier and you see all the stuff that's going on in like Seaham and stuff, and like everything's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then you look at bloody Whitley Bay and it's like, really? Is that the best?
I mean, it's starting to come around the front as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. So it's like, it's green now.
Yeah.
It's not even white anymore.
Oh, it's just not good.
It's not.
It is a good location.
But it's a lush.
It's
a really peaceful place.
Right, so it is coming to the end of this first episode. It's been a great episode. But before we do go, I've got one last question for you, Ian. Do you have any advice for anyone watching this who might be wanting to get into photography? Like, what's the best way? Just anything, like all the common questions that people always ask.
Yeah.
You can bury it now and ask, like, for everyone, all these common questions, just answer them now and bury it all. What even are the common questions? Like,
so it's always like the main question is settings.
Is it?
Always settings.
Yeah, but I guess that depends though, doesn't it? Or is there like a main thing you can
There is,
go
but
on?
you know what I say? Like, choose your genre. Choose your genre at the beginning. Something you're really interested in. So if there's something you're really interested in, either wildlife. Only thing is, there's two ones that if you choose, you're gonna have to have deep pockets. So astro, like night photography, and wildlife. It's gonna cost you a fortune. Yeah. So if you're gonna go into that, be prepared. If it's just day-to-day photography, a bit of street or a bit of portrait, just stick it in auto. Go and learn composition. Go and enjoy the camera and just get out and shoot. Get a feel of how you want to be able to shoot. Then slowly start at that. Maybe stick it into shutter priority or aperture priority, and then start learning the settings. And then eventually you'll maybe go full manual, because I very rarely use any settings now. I normally shoot full manual,
Yeah.
Which is kind of like the goal. It's the goal to know exactly what.
100%. Yeah.
The goal is to know exactly what kind of composition you want and know exactly what exposure you want. So yeah, that would be my main.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, choose your genre.
Choose your genre and go from there.
Yeah. But thank you very much for coming on my show. My first guest, great first guest though. I don't know if I'll ever be able to top it, but we'll.
Very kind of you.
You should come back on in the future, because I really enjoyed this. I think it's good.
Absolutely, I will. I definitely will.
No, yeah, thank you very much, and make sure to go follow all of his social medias. What are you on Facebook, Instagram?
Facebook, Instagram, and Threads. Right. They're the ones that I use. Yeah.
But thank you very much for coming on. Make sure you follow me as well, and of course Ian, and I'll see you for episode 2. Goodbye everyone.